The winner is, and the winner is, and the winner is the Indiana Fever. In the Indiana Fever. Yes, welcome back to another edition of Live Wild Sports Media. If you know why I'm smiling, because the Fever just put the beats down on the Warner Bonner and the Phoenix Mercury. Yes, a game that the Indiana Fever needed, a game that the Indiana Fever must have, a game that they need to send a statement because with all the talks, all the chatter, all the backbiting, yeah, the Indiana Fever did that. And you know why? And you know how they did it? Guess what? By an unsung hero who not only came into this league, well, I won't say coming to the league, but I'll say come to this team on a hardship contract. Then got released, got picked up again for the rest of the season. Came in, had some great moments, but this game was her signature moment against a top three team that looked like a playoff contender, having one of the players on the team that's been in the MVP kind of conversation. Erin McDonald came in and put the team on her back. She went on a magnificent run in the second half, in the second quarter, by the way, because the Indiana Fever outscored the Phoenix Mercury 35-20 in the second quarter. And it went on a 10-0 run during that stretch of time because with Kelsey Mitchell struggling, with Leah Boston was struggling in the first half, with Natasha Howard struggling in the first half, you would wonder if the Indiana Fever had enough gas in the tank to get the job done. Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you because the bench stepped up. Oh, yes, yes, yes. The bench stepped up. The bench put on a 32-point bazaar. What more can I say, man, about Chloe Bibby? I'm sure the Golden State Valkyries wish they had kept her. I wish they had thought they could have picked her up during the time of what's the girl name? Kayla Thornton went down. But guess what? Chloe Bibby for the last two games, she has scored what? She has scored 18 points in what 20, probably 20 something minutes, 23 minutes in two games. Has hit two threes in this game, 10 points, one rebound, one foul, one assist, 2 for 4 from the field, and was getting it from the free throw line. Now we saw Michaela Tipson in the game early on in the first quarter, but she struggled. And that's, that happens. But make no mistake about it, the Indiana Fever wanted this game. This game was personal. This game was personal because guess what? You know why? The culprit, DeWanna Bonner, came into this team in the offseason, talked about championships, helping this young team grow. But then later on, she couldn't get her way because she thought the Indiana Fever owed her something, owed her a spot on the team. And guess what happened? She decided to sit out and collect a check and then got waived so she could run over to Phoenix and act like she was going to win a title with Phoenix this year. Yeah, I get it. She started her career off in Phoenix. But guess what? Who knows her better than her coach, Stephanie White, and knows how to play against her and Alyssa Thomas? Oh, yeah. See, even though Stephanie White could mess things up sometime, but this is one way to say, hey, I played against them. I know what they like to do. If you looked at the game, if you've seen the game, DeWanna Bonner looked at all fragile, disgusted, couldn't. Soon as she stepped on the court, guess what happened? The booze came out. The booze came out. The booze for DeWanna came out. And then she was whining, complaining, trying to get calls, throwing up wild shots. She's old. She's frail. It's over for her. She needs to retire. She needs to go on. I think the Phoenix Mercury made a great mistake picking her up. I think the chemistry that they have in the beginning of the season could have helped them. But nevertheless, I'm glad they lost. I'm glad the Indiana Fever put them down. And see, the Indiana Fever came back from a 12-point deficit and took the lead and never looked back. Now, they did push the lead up in the third quarter to about almost 10 points. But then by the end of the third, they was leading by 4. But in the fourth quarter, guess what? The Maris Dunces came in the game. Stopped going to work on AB. Did one of Derek Nowitzki's want to turn, stop, fadeaway pop on the Alyssa Thomas. Made her look foolish in the game. Made her look foolish. Then guess what? Demaris Doncic went out. Then AB came in the game. AB came in the game and went to work down the stretch. Then you brought back Eric McDonald, who had a career high, 27 points, 3 from 7 from the field, 7 for 11 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3-point land. Had 4 fouls, 4 assists. Kelsey Mitchell, who struggled this game, who came off a 30-point bombing of the Chicago Sky, had only 8 points, picked up 5 fouls. She was a liability today. But you cannot talk about the Indiana Fever while out talking about their bench, man. Sydney Colson came in and went to work from 3. She came in, led the charge, got in a good position, had 8 points. Lexi Hall, always giving up that defense, always doing her thing. She ended up fouling out in the game, but she had 2 points. She did her job. Also, Demiris Johnson has 12 points, 2 from 3 from the field. The Fever shot 11 for 24 from the field, was 45%, 45.8% from the field. Aaliyah Boston took over in the fourth quarter, 14 points down the stretch before finally putting the game away. Like I said, Natasha Howard didn't play well. She only had 6 points. But like I said, when you have the others to step up and give you this kind of performance, it warms my heart. It warms my heart, man. Team stats. Let's go to it. Fever shot 51% from the field. They shot 45% from 3. There was 32 from 38 from the free throw line. Yeah, let me tell you that again. There was 32 for 38 from the free throw line. In the fourth, I think in the fourth quarter, they was already in the penalty down the stretch, getting free throws, taking it on the mismatches, getting to the line, doing the things that they needed to do. That's what it is. I would not believe it if I had seen it for myself, because 32 attempts at the free throw line, no, 38 attempts and 32 made from the free throw line. Come on. You would think the referees were working for us. I'm serious. You would think the referees were working for us. They shot 84% from from 3. I mean from the free throw line. They out rebounded Phoenix 33-31. They had 19 assists to their 18. We had 8 steals. They had 9 steals. We had 2 blocks. They had 1. We had 17 turnovers. They had 19. Alyssa Thomas actually had 6 of them herself. Yeah, she had 6 of herself. Fast break points, 15-9. We ran the ball. Now that beat us in the paint, 46 to 30, 38. Fouls, they had 2 more than us. The largest lead for both teams, 12. 12. So, me personally, I think the Indiana Fever, a game like this, could really signify what this team needs to do. The 2 highest, if you think about it, they was losing by 10 in the first quarter, 30-20. They turned it around and led at halftime, and they was up 35. They outscored them 35-20 in the second quarter. They only lost a 3-point margin, but led by 4 in the third, and they got outscored 22-19. Then you had the fourth quarter where it was more of a high scoring, but the Fever outscored them 33-29 in that game. Alyssa Thomas had 32 points. She got to the free throw line. She did Alyssa Thomas stuff. She had 15 rebounds, 7 assists. Kalia Copper had 22. Satu Salvi, she fouled out. She had six fouls. Natasha Mack was garbage. DeWanna Bonner, 0 for 1 from 3, 1 for 4 for the field, 4 points. And that's the same DeWanna Bonner that everybody hyped up when she went there and got 22 points and started yapping her mouth, talking all of that jazz. But guess what? You got shut down. You got shut down, because like I said, this game had to be personal for the Indiana Fever. They needed this game. They needed this game to be personal because the fact of the matter is everything that has went on, they needed that win. The Indiana Fever, they had no room for margin. Now they gave up to Whitcomb 3 threes. She had 18 off the bench, but it didn't really matter because they bench kept them in the game too. They had 32 points off the bench as well as us. But like I said before, if we had Caitlin Clark in this game, we would have blown them out. We would have literally blown them out, man. There is no way in the world that this probably is the best winning feeling of the year. And you know something? We go back to last year because the Indiana Fever has beaten Phoenix last year 3-0, and starting off this season, they have beaten them 4 times straight. Now Phoenix has beaten them 4 times straight. Now you won't have to make Phoenix think, and the Fever still got room to grow because they still got moves to make by the time the trade deadline. So if you watch my live early and I explain all of that stuff down the line, I will. But nevertheless, man, the Indiana Fever put the belt to ass on the Phoenix Mercury. And shout out to Ari McDonald. I know we've been giving you a lot of hard time, but you got to give credit where credit due when we talk about these players. We can't. She did her thing. She took up the slack where everybody in the starting lineup was struggling. And then you got to think the bench came in, Chloe came in, Dantas came in, Sid came in. They all contribute to help this team. This was a team win, but it could not have been this way without Ari doing the things that she did, took advantage of the matchups, getting downhill, getting to the rim, getting the foul, getting to the line, finding the open shots. I mean, she did make some passes. She did have some turnovers, but that's expected. You know what I'm saying? Then the bench came in, played in position. Chloe hit big shots, spread the floor, played defense, got a steal. Now, they should have called a clear path foul on Kalia Copper on that one, but it's what it is, man. But like I said, a good overall win for the Indiana Fever because they go to Dallas and they pull that game off. Guess what? The Indiana Fever is going to be right where they needed to be. Right where they needed to be. They had won 3 straight. They could win 4 straight on Friday night. And then turn around and play the Storm to win 5 straight. If they could pull this off and keep going strong, yeah. This Indiana Fever team, I think, to me, is peaking at the right time. They're peaking at the right time. Despite the struggles and everything like that, this is what I like to see. A good quality win. This was a good quality win without Caitlin Clark on the floor, and especially with Kelsey Mitchell struggling. They beat a quick quality team. So make that assessment if you will. But I do have another video coming back at you because this is going to be a good one, guys. It's going to be a good one. Like, comment, subscribe. Indiana Fever, riding high. Let's get it.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire. It's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it. So official, like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire. Sports and entertainment.